Caitlyn, the Sheriff of Piltover, is one of League of Legends' most iconic champions, and her popularity has only skyrocketed since she was introduced into the Netflix series Arcane. With 13 skins in her collection plus 2 prestige editions, the question must be asked, which of Caitlyn's skins is the best? What's up, Knuckleheads? It's Josh. We're back with another champion skin tier list, this time for Caitlyn. As usual, we're going through all the skins of one champion, and we'll be rating them according to factors like aesthetic, whether they fit with the theme of the skin line, how similar they are to existing skins, the effects and animations on the abilities, recall animation, anything new that's added, and of course, price.
It should be progress, not power and fear that leads Piltover into the future.
Caitlyn's release skin was Resistance Caitlyn, released back in January 2011. The theme of a resistance fighter for Caitlyn works, even though ironically she is the titular sheriff of Piltover, so it's ironic that she would be now fighting a resistance against authority. And though it's distinct from her other skins, especially the early ones, it's not exactly a standout skin. No new effects, no animations or anything like that, but it is a very cheap skin at 520 RP. And for that reason, I am putting Resistance Caitlyn in the Spare Orange Essence tier. Not a priority buy if you're a Caitlyn main, but it's so cheap that you're probably going to get it once or twice when you're unlocking chests. No harm in spending the orange essence on this one.
Excellent shot!
Caitlyn's other release skin is actually now a legacy skin that is Sheriff Caitlyn, also released in January 2011. Thematically, I mean, this is just right on the nose. Sheriff Caitlyn is for the Sheriff of Piltover, but it is different and unique to her base skin. Whereas Caitlyn at base skin is the Sheriff of Piltover, a high-tech, futuristic sort of land. Sheriff Caitlyn is an Old West throwback. Not saying that Riot really racked their brains coming up with this one, but the skin works. It looks really good. It fits with Caitlyn's theme. No new effects and animations, but again, it's really cheap. It's 520 RP. And given that as a legacy skin, it's a little harder to get. For those reasons, I'm putting Sheriff Caitlyn in the Real Main's own tier. Bit of a flex to have this one. It means you've probably been playing the game a long time or been playing Caitlyn a while. And it's just a damn good skin for the price.
Crime is common. Logic is rare.
In May 2011, Caitlyn got her third skin, that being Safari Caitlyn. Caitlyn on Safari is very different from her base and the existing skins, but it's, again, not all that exotic or anything. Yeah, it fits and yeah, it looks fine, but the biggest problem that I have with this skin is the price. It's 975 RP. It's not so bad that I would say that you should just turn your nose up at it if you get it out of a loot box, but if you got the orange essence for it, I think this one is definitely worth spending to unlock.
The heart of Piltover is its people.
Caitlyn managed to get in a fourth skin in 2011, slipping that one under the wire in December with Arctic Warfare Caitlyn. And even though the theme works well for Caitlyn, I have to say this is definitely her ugliest skin. The effects and animations on the model are just not that great. The model itself hasn't been altered that much. It's a reskin, and honestly, it's not as good as any of the other skins she's already gotten. And even though it's not as expensive as Safari Caitlyn, it's still quite expensive compared to her other skins that were available at that time, 750 RP. For those reasons, Arctic Warfare Caitlyn is going in the Got Gifted tier. If you need to unlock it to complete your collection, be my guest, but I wouldn't be looking to hunt down this skin.
Let's crack this case wide open.
Then we had Officer Caitlyn as her next skin. Again, thematically a little bit on the nose, where I didn't really have to reach for this one, but it is a good looking skin, a little bit more futuristic for Caitlyn, and this is definitely an upgrade compared to the other skins she had. There are some new VFX and sound effects. The model looks much better. It is pricier at 975 RP, and to me, it doesn't quite justify that cost. I think if it's on sale, for sure it's worth buying, but Officer Caitlyn is not one of the top skins for this champion.
The law bends for no one.
Headhunter Caitlyn was the first in a series of more futuristic and colorful skins for Caitlyn. Released in 2014, this skin has very obvious upgrades to the animations and effects. It's got a really good recall animation, and it's still priced very competitively at 975 RP. I think that if you wanted to, you can make the case that this is a must-own skin. To me, it just barely misses that. It's still definitely a skin that all real Caitlyn mains own.
I'm not here to serve. I'm here to protect.
Lunar Wraith Caitlyn was released in 2016 and it is the last skin in her legacy collection. And while I've been on board with all of Caitlyn's skins from a thematic standpoint, this is the first one where I really think they missed the mark. The Lunar Wraith skin line to me just really doesn't fit Caitlyn, and this skin is a perfect example why. Her model looks very janky. The gun, overgrown with coral, is kind of weird. Your mileage may vary, but to me, this does not work for Caitlyn. The skin does look nice, and at 1350 RP, it's not terribly priced, but I'm putting this this in the orange essence tier.
I cannot afford to falter.
Then we have Pulsefire Caitlyn, her first legendary skin at 1820 RP, so it has a lot of expectations it has to measure up to, and I'm pleased to say that it does. The effects and animations look so good and so unique. The futuristic model fits Caitlyn absolutely to a T, and these might be some of the best animations on her abilities that I have seen. To me, this is absolutely a real main's own skin.
I love a good chase.
Pool Party Caitlyn is a good looking skin, and it's one that fits her line. There's so much that could be done with this skin. Making Caitlyn's gun a super soaker is just always going to work for me. Unfortunately, this just left me a little bit wanting. I think the champion model is very basic. The recall animation, they could have done a lot more with. Her effects and animations on her abilities and her basic attacks are okay, but they're not anything that special to write about for 1350 RP. I'm going to put Pool Party Caitlyn in the buy if it's on sale tier.
Even the smallest clue can break a case.
After that, in 2019, we got Arcade Caitlyn, and I love the arcade skins so much, but this does definitely fit Caitlyn. Maybe not as well as some of the others, but her effects and animations on the abilities make up for it so well. The trap loading animation is absolutely perfect, and this skin has the best recall animation of any Caitlyn skin. The Duck Hunt reference, it's perfect for her. To me, this skin just fits very well thematically, and the effects and animations are just top tier. To me, this is a must-own skin. I think that if I was to pick any skin that is my favorite, it would be Arcade Caitlyn. And that also goes for her Prestige editions. I think those are absolutely fantastic as well.
I must always be 3 steps ahead.
After Arcade, Caitlyn fans had to wait a couple of years until Battle Academia Caitlyn dropped in 2021. Now, thematically, this is very on point for Caitlyn, but I was initially skeptical just from looking at the price. It's her other legendary skin, and looking at the champion model. To me, the model just doesn't look that good. It looks a little clunky, and the effects and animations on her basic abilities kind of led that out. But then I saw the ult animation, and that immediately bumped this skin up about 2 tiers. This one's going in the buy if it's on sale tier primarily because it's an 1820 legendary skin. If this was a 1350 skin, I would say it's easily a must-own or at least a real main zone.
Got them in my sights.
Arcane Caitlyn, released in November 2021, obviously to coincide with the release of Arcane, and to me, this skin, it doesn't push the envelope thematically. It looks like Caitlyn does in the series. To me, if you're buying this skin, you're buying it purely because you're a fan of the series and you want Caitlyn to look like she did in that series. For that reason, putting it in the buy if it's on sale tier. If it's one that you really like, then for sure, go ahead and spend the 975 RP. It's not that much. For most people, I would say wait till you get it in your shop or something.
Stay out of my way.
And finally, we have her most recent skin, Snow Moon Caitlyn. Now, I was a little on the fence about this skin when it first came out. Now comparing it to Caitlyn's other skins and looking at that 1350 RP price, to me, this skin just doesn't measure up. Thematically, I don't think it quite works. The very cold and calculating Snow Moon style just doesn't work to me. It doesn't fit Caitlyn. The model isn't that great, it doesn't sell it quite enough, and the effects and animations are not that great. To me, this one goes down in the Spare Orange Essence tier. But what do you think? Which Caitlyn skin did I rate too high or too low on my tier list? And let me know your favorite Caitlyn skin in the comments. I'll be back next time with another champion tier list, so go ahead and drop a like and subscribe so you know when that comes out. Later, knuckleheads.